Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPrath. My name's Kenan, his son and the producer of the show. Tonight, the title I'm super proud of. I actually came up with this one all by myself. It's Listening or Love. And it's a little bit of a trick question because, well, I'll get into that in just a second. First, a quick piece of housekeeping for anyone who's out there joining us for the first time. Be sure to say something in the chat so I know you're here. In fact, everyone who's out there watching, be sure to say something so I know you're out there. Otherwise, I have no way of seeing you. So we put everybody in order. The first time, of course, there's no charge for readings. And then going forward after that, it's $10 per card. Or you can pay $100 and cover every show of the month, which happens 3 times per week. That's normally Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Arizona time. Now, a quick thought before I turn it over to Christopher for readings. And that's that in conversation, an unhelpful behavior pattern is to plan out what we're going to say while the other person is talking instead of actually listening. Now, to listen is to surrender. And it's ultimately an act of love. However, surrender isn't just flopping over to whatever the other person wants. It's an active process, just like love. So, thanks for listening to me. Enjoy the show. Here's Christopher.
Hey, thanks so much for being here. Happy Sunday. I'll light the incense here for you. And this is to help you reconnect stronger with your tribe. And to be able to listen to your tribe, but listen with love. So, like Kenan was saying, even if people are saying something you don't agree with, you can still do your best to project love into that. And I think that's really important. But it's also when we're listening to spirit, and to listen to spirit with love. So at the beginning of every show, I turn my ringer off. And then sometimes I forget to turn it back on. So then I miss your texts, and I miss any calls. So it's important for me to remember to turn my ringer back on. After a while, if my ringer's off, I notice, I haven't been getting as many texts or calls. Yeah, my ringer's off. So this is about communication, right? It's about the listening and doing it with love. But the group card tonight is really profound. I love this card. By the way, I went to Sedona today. I took some friends. One of them had never been there. So it was really fun to be able to show them around and to look at their reaction. So I ended up getting a new deck of cards, which I'm going to be using with you tonight. Of course, I haven't looked at them. I don't really know. But to tie this all in together, this is a brand new card. It's called Isolation. And I love it because it has a wolf. And the wolf is howling. Okay? It's feeling in this card, it's feeling like an isolation. It's feeling a loneliness. That's your indication that your ringer's off. Did that make sense?
Totally did.
I hope that's amusing to all of you. But when you feel off or disconnected or lonely or just kind of frustrated sometimes, check your ringer, reconnect with spirit, because this card, this energy behind this card, will help you to remember to keep your ringer on and to bridge this telepathic union to your soul's true home. It's literally ET going phone home, phone home. Reconnecting with your soul group. These are beings of a higher dimension. They're there to help you. But it's important to call them. It's important to remember to, hey, sorry, I haven't been getting your messages. My ringer's been off. Turn your ringer back on. The truth is, you're actually never alone. Because even though your ringer's off, people are still maybe texting or calling you. You just aren't aware of it. This card, this energy, this show tonight is about turning into and turning that ringer on and being tuned into these messages. That all you need to do is ask them to help you contact home. It's called a soul star family. And welcome them with open arms. This is about your growth. This is about stop hiding, moving into your power. That's the group card. And forming these much closer bonds with this more often communication with these beings that are around us. Okay. Good. Here we go. Got a great show tonight. Thank you. Happy birthday, Ashley Walsh. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We'll definitely pull you a great birthday card today. And she's representing from back east. So what I'd like to do, if it's okay, I'd like to actually, because I know it's later, the time change, I'd like to, if it's okay with all of you, to read for the people on the East Coast first. Just because I know, Marilyn, you love to go to bed early. So I'll read for you and Abby first, okay? We'll pull a card for each of you first and foremost. And then we'll do Marilyn Pitts. So Marilyn. I bought these cards because I know the artist. She lives in Sedona. And I never actually had seen him on display before, so I went ahead and bought them. This is Alice in Wonderland, Marilyn, to me. And I've never seen this card before, but because it popped out, this is called the Adventure card. So this was kind of a last-minute trip. For a long time, I had my weekend open. And so one of my dear friends, her husband had never been to Sedona, so they asked me to go up there. So I'm telling you this story, Marilyn, to relate, and to all of you, to kind of relate to this. They asked me if I would want to go to Sedona with them, and I said, yes. So I'll just tell you one of our adventures. On the way back, we were a little hungry. It was today, before the show. And Regina, my friend, says, how does Mexican food sound? I went, sure, great. So she GPSed this Mexican restaurant in Cottonwood, Arizona. And nice little town. So we found the restaurant, and we walked, and it was a family-owned, authentic Mexican restaurant, and it was probably the best Mexican food I've ever eaten. This woman makes everything from scratch, and she actually came out and introduced herself, and we gave her a big hug, and she wanted to take pictures with us, and it was really fun. But that's not the full adventure. And so the reason I'm telling you this, Marilyn, is because be open for more adventures into this connection with your star family. So when I walked in, she'd opened this restaurant in 2019. Really nicely decorated and very homey. But in the front of the restaurant, before you walked in, she had a row of theater seats. And there was a guy sitting there. Now, I saw him. No one else saw him. Anyway, so I didn't mention it. I didn't bring it up until after the meal, and the owner came over, the woman who ran the restaurant, and I said, you really have a lot of protection, but you have this guy that's sitting out front. Oh, I know. And I'm like, she goes, yeah. She goes, before we bought this place, a man had committed suicide in here. And he really bugs me all the time. Like pots and pans will fall over, and she's just this very endearing, strong-minded, no fear Mexican woman, no holds barred. She's like, don't mess with me tonight. I'm busy. Go do something else. Get out of here. And she has absolutely no fear. But she knew he was sitting there. And that, it's like Marilyn, and I would encourage every one of you to speak up. Because I was like, well, do I mention anything? Yes. When you see something, say something, okay? It's important, because it was important for her in some small way, and I actually don't know, we didn't talk to her that long, as to what good that came from that. But that's where this is like Alice down the rabbit hole, and more of us are going to be experiencing these odd things, coincidences, synchronicities, and it's an adventure. It's an opportunity for you to discover without trying to left brain it. Go, oh, okay, that's the way it is. Perfect. We took this gentleman who'd never been to Sedona before to the Church of the Holy Cross. And if some of you have been to Sedona, it's a church up in the mountains in the Red Rocks. It's just absolutely stunning views. And he was like driven to go inside, and he sat there. And he's not, you would never term him as a metaphysical person. But as he was sitting there and he was meditating, he said, he says, okay, Jesus, what's your message for me? And the message was, hey, you spent your life forgiving other people, forgive yourself. And he came out and he was just sobbing. He was just uncontrollably sobbing. He goes, it never occurred to me to forgive myself. And you may think, Marilyn, that, or we may all think that that's kind of like, well, shouldn't everybody know that? No, not everybody knows that. So what appears to be simple for us isn't necessarily simple for other people. And it's just a matter of saying something where you're moved to say something, say it. You won't know why you're saying it. It's going beyond the fear of being wrong, because it's not about being wrong. It just makes, like, the Mexican lady that owns the restaurant, hey, there's this guy out front. Oh, yeah, I know. That's the guy that committed suicide before he bought the place. We see him all the time. I'm like, okay, cool. All right, my dear Abby. All right. Great card. I love this. Again, I've never seen this till just now. This is called the ripple effect. What a fantastic message. We seldom see when we throw the rock into the pond, we may see the first couple of ripples, but those ripples continue out across the lake. They start out large, but then they get more minuscule, but still effective. And they can join other ripples that are caused by the wind and actually create a big wave. Abby, take a look at the good that you're doing. Really important for you to see your significance. You're not just a cog in the wheel, nor are you Sonia or Laurel, Tiff, Jared, Kat, Lindsay, Austin, Ashley, Mindy, Teresa, Heather, Regina. None of you are here to be an insignificant anything in the world. You have a ripple effect. Step up to it. Look at the effect that you've had on other people. Claim it, own it. This will build your power and be free of shying away from your power in any way, shape, or form. By the way, Regina, who's on the show tonight, actually bought me these cards today. So thank you, Regina. I love them. They're really amazing. Also, Abby, this is about, similar to Marilyn's card, about speaking up. Be free of the fear of, should I say something? Be free of the fear of having said something, or the cause that it may have, or the effect that it may have. Know that it's divinely directed. Things happen for a reason. Okay. All right, my dear Marilyn Pitts, and then we'll get to you, Sonia, because you were the first on the show tonight. Thank you. Well, Miss Leo, Marilyn Pitts, perseverance. You know, there's something about, if you could text me your, because Kenan is an astrologer, and for your next reading, you could text me your birthplace, your time of birth. What else? What else is needed? Birthplace, time of birth.
Just the place and time.
Huh?
Just the exact time.
Exact time that you were born, if you know it. There's something. There's something happening with your chart that will be helpful to know. So I'll text you back about your personal reading coming up as to when the best time and date is for that. But I might have Kenan jump in on that to help us with the astrological aspect of it. Because there's something with the... You know, it's kind of like when you call for a taxi or you call for an Uber, they give you an estimated time of arrival. It helps to know when that estimated time of arrival is. So, it's also about you know how this gentleman said how important it was for him to forgive himself. This is about you taking time. So you're a nurse, you know about the what what stress, what cause. Okay, I'm thinking of the name of it. Hang on. When the body goes through, or you go through a stressful event, you have to have time to heal that. It's what soldiers go through. Can you think of the name of this? PTSD. PTSD. Thank you. That you don't realize. But there's this exercise that you can do. I've talked about it before. When you have a nightmare at night, you close your eyes, you go back into the nightmare, but you change the nightmare while you're awake and while you remember the dream. One of the things you can do is go back over any traumatic event. Just simply close your eyes, but give it a different outcome. And that helps with the recovery. But there's something with your coming up in your birth chart that it's helpful to know. So we'll yeah, adrenal fatigue. Yeah. So just take you're in this recovery process, and there's no time to it, right? Well, that thing happened 10 years ago, or that happened a year ago, or it happens a few months ago. It doesn't matter. The brain doesn't do time. But go back into it and just look at the good that came from it, or change the dream entirely. All right, hope that helped.
Marilyn Maddox says too that adventure is one of her favorite words and kind of her motto. So
adventure. Mm-hmm. Marilyn says adventure is one of your favorite words. I love it. Marilyn Maddox, thank you. Okay, so we've done. All right, let's get to Sonia. Thank you for holding out, Sonia. It's called duality. And it has to do with tests, confrontation, negotiation. All right, so excuse me. So Sonia, yesterday, so I have a garage and a garage door opener. So my normal, when I go into the garage, on the wall is a button that opens the garage door. I always hit that. I get in the truck, I back it out, no problem. For some reason, yesterday, I got in the truck and then opened the garage. But in my head, I thought that I had opened it on the wall. Long story short, I broke my garage door. I backed into it. And I was really shook up. I'm like, what just happened? And of course, Kenan was a huge help. We'll get it fixed. We did get it closed. But I could tell that the energy was off. Like I'm like, oh wait. Something's going on here. And I really had to work at getting myself centered. And I knew that the energy behind that and how I felt and how bad I felt, that it was going to pass. And sure enough, today, it's fine. It'll be fine. I didn't understand it at the time, but I knew I didn't continue to dwell on it. I didn't continue to dwell on, oh my God, what a stupid thing to do. I went, no, hey, the energy was off. It'll be self-correcting. And I had actually a couple of my clients call me yesterday and tell me something very similar in a completely different manner had happened. So what I'm seeing with this, Sonia, is this is going to be self-correcting, but you have these, we all have these tests that come up. Are you going to continue to, we talked about this last week, are you going to continue to look at the red marks, the ones you missed, the things you got wrong, or are you going to look at what you got right? Okay. And the great things that came from it, like Kenan was a huge help to me in that aspect of things, energetically, but also just even logically, to get the garage door to close. I won't go into detail, but my point is this too is going to pass. Whatever it is that you're going through, it's going to go through a cycle, and it's going to pass, and it'll work out. Let it go. Let it go. Okay, we've got Laurel, right? Yeah, we've done Sonia. We've got Marilyn. We got Marilyn and Abby. What's that? Laurel. Okay, let's do Laurel. And then we've got Ashley Walsh on the East Coast too. So I'll get to you, Ashley, next. And I'm sorry we're going out of order, but I'm trying to get the 9 o'clock people now. So you guys can go to bed. Not yet. Okay. So we're doing Laurel. Yeah. Okay, here we go, Laurel. Laurel, this is reflective truth. What aren't you seeing? Universe, show me now what I'm not seeing about myself that is good and pure and true and virtuous. Universe, show me now what is beautiful about my soul. One of my teachers told me one time that her goal is to one day throw out or burn all of the self-help books. And she was joking. But it really is, the answers really don't come from the outside. You can learn all these techniques and you can study them and you can read them. But when it comes down to where real change comes from, is accessing the subconscious. It's accessing these belief systems that no longer serve you and letting go of what you've been told about yourself. Belief systems that you've developed about yourself that just don't serve you anymore, Laurel. This is really, in the next few days, taking this reflective truth to a new level. Because this is about your soul group. This is getting more in touch with your soul group. And when you're with your soul group, And with people that really love you, or angels, guides, ancestors, spirits that really love you, you're not worried about what you look like in a bathing suit. You're not worried if you have too much makeup on. You're not worried about how you're sounding or how you're coming across. I love this. So this is all of us. You know, if you were in front of me right now in a Zoom meeting, I'm not going to point out that you have a curl hanging down in the middle of your forehead and it really should be over to the right. It's a moot point. Or like they said on Friends, it's a moo point, because a cow's opinion does not matter, right? It's one of my favorite lines from the show of Friends. And so I'm going to talk to every one of you on the show. Can you really do a reflective truth about yourself and look at what it is that spirit sees in you? Do you think your angels, your guides, your ancestors go, I don't know why Laurel hasn't gone blonde yet. We would just love her so much more if she was blonde. Look, this is you moving into some major revelatory truths about yourself, but giving yourself more credit. So I'm going to challenge everybody on the show. Thank you for being here, Laurel, for pulling this card. Everybody, are you willing to do more of a reflective truth of how you actually are and what people see and love about you? Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to do Jared and Kat next. No, you know what? Let's do Ashley Walsh, because she's 3 hours ahead, and then I'll get to Jared and Kat. All right, Ashley. Ashley, happy birthday. Happy birthday. What a fantastic card this is. If you have your phone, if you can take a picture of this, this is your birthday card. This is your emergence. This is the creation, the rebirth, the magician. You don't know how things are going to work out, but there's a rebirth taking place. Some women, the second they get pregnant, they can sense that they're pregnant. Mostly do not know until they actually take a pregnancy test. This is giving birth to something brand new that you're not even consciously aware of yet, but it's there. It's like the baby is already there. And this is you starting this whole new creation. Or it could be a creation built upon something that's already been created. It's like adding to that creation. Kind of like thinking of taking a painting and taking that painting, but then painting something else over it or adding to the painting. That's what I'm getting with this. This is the emergence card. There's this energy gathering around you. It's the creative process. You know, one of my clients about 15 years ago, I kind of saw this with this creation. I told her she was pregnant, and the woman said, "No, I'm not." But I saw a lot of this, like this atoms. I don't know how to describe it, but it was like atoms coming into fruition and creating something brand new. That's what it's doing with all of us. And all of us, when there's something new coming up, we don't know that we're pregnant. Right?
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know that we're pregnant. But there are atoms and energies that are coalescing, that are creating this amazing being. And there's something being created here that is really amazing. So no matter how old you are, this is like a new baby. It's like a re-giving of birth, which is perfect for all of us, right? Whether it's a literal physical baby or it's actually something in creation that is needed for the planet right now. Okay. And then we've got Jared. Wow. Purpose, passion, and service. Who says unicorns don't exist? In physics, it's said that if it can be imagined, it has to exist. You've heard of the parallel universes, you've heard of these other dimensions that do exist. Just because it does not exist in the mind of someone else, but exists in your field, be free of listening to other people saying, oh, well, that's impossible. Or be free of, Jared, picking up projections from other people that are making you think that something's impossible or it's not going to work out. How else can this work out? Okay? How else can you think about it? Think about, oh gosh, I really would like to have a horse. Well, that's possible, right? But what about a horse with a horn? Oh, no. Who says that's not possible? This is destiny. Be free of forcing destiny. Be free of forcing anything. That's where, what was the title of the show, Kenan?
Listening or Love. And Austin's curious, what's the name of the deck again? Yeah.
Listening or Love. Okay? So, Kenan's, thank you. And Austin, the name of the deck, Austin.
I was trying to remember. Star or something.
Oh, the name of the deck is Magical Dimensions. Magical Dimensions. So listening or love. Spirit talks to us in our own language. So, I remember years ago I went to Disneyland and there was a group of Chinese and they were speaking Mandarin, so I just kind of jumped in and said hi. Expressed my opinion of what they were talking about, and they were really shocked. Well, the people I was with didn't really know at the time I spoke Mandarin, and they were like, what is happening? Each one of us has our own language with spirit. So if we could pull up the who's on next. So Jared, just because Kat has her language with spirit, be free of poo-pooing what the downloads she's getting. Or Ashley, right? Ashley, this is you not poo-pooing or you being poo-pooed about what your direction is from spirit. Or allowing other people to poo-poo your direction from spirit. This is listening. It's listening. It's your unique communication with spirit. Okay, all right, Kat. I know you're on the plane. So, Jared, you got to take a picture of this. This is the travel card. It's like, the thing I love with Kat is very direct. Like they know she's traveling, right? It's like an acknowledgement from spirit. So this is all she needs to do is just acknowledge her better communication. Make sure her ringer is on. Now I know you're traveling. You put your phone in plane mode, right? Flying mode. When she gets off the plane, make sure she puts it in regular mode, and share that with her, and remind her that she's this gateway for spirit. Who here on the show is not a gateway for spirit? I don't see any hands, so that's good. Okay. All right. Then we've got Tiffany, right? Yeah, Tiff. All right, Tiff, here we go. Oh, Tiffany, take a picture of this one. Oh, this is awesome. So, everyone, Tiffany's a doctor, and this is about shifting frequencies. One of your gifts is you may love country music, but if you're teaching or standing in front of a group of rock and rollers, you're going to be able to shift frequencies easier and better out of your own old way of doing things, and it's going to feel like, where did that come from? Why did I just say that? But from a country music girl, you're all of a sudden going to start talking rock and roll to people. That's channeling. That's where your ability to shift frequencies. So I'm going to actually, if that's okay with every one of you that okay it, is to help you all to shift frequencies. To be able to talk fish to fish. Be able to tweet to birds. Growl to bears. It's all about frequency. It's about aligning your frequency as to how to best reach people on a it's below molecular level, right? Frequencies, like you think about the light frequency. Tiffany, I don't know what it is about you, but there's something with you being able to work with these light frequencies. It's going to be a new sensation. So I went to this show, right? Conscious Life last month. And one of the gentlemen called me the next day and he's like, "What did you do to me?" I started laughing and go, "What do you mean? What did I?" He goes, "You gave me a rock. And this rock is like vibrating all the time. What'd you do to the rock? Why'd you give me this rock?" But he had nowhere to put it. It was actually, he was raising his frequency and he could actually feel it. And I said, "Well, it's not about the rock. It's about meeting someone and then all of a sudden your frequency matches that. And it's something you've wanted your whole life." He goes, "Yeah, I've been coming to this show for 10 years and never had an experience like this." Anyway, now we're talking every day. My point, that's kind of like with you, Tiffany. That's what's happening. In fact, it's happening with every one of you. So as you move through this, you're building capacity for these new frequencies. It's kind of like changing your channel on your television and then not even actually knowing you had that channel or had a new channel. That's what it's like. It's like, oh, I think I'm going to watch this for a while. So call me or text me. And this kind of has to go with the theme of the show. It's about listening and your ability to tune into these different frequencies. Huh. This is curious. I've actually not seen this before, Tiff. Okay. Got Jared and Kat. Lindsay and Austin, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, Lindsay and Austin. Here we go. Okay, Lindsay. Anywhere, Lindsay, that you felt or feel that you have to prove anything to anyone, are you willing to let go of that now? That feeling or fear of needing to be on top. And the reason I got that message is this card is Utopia, but the first thing I saw was U-top. This is where being free of getting caught up in other people's paradigms or projections, where they're like competing with you. You're free of needing to play that game with anyone because you are on top. No one, there's no one else like you. There never will be anyone else like you on this planet. But this is taking a vacay. This is where a vacation is. So Austin, take her on this amazing vacation. Take her absolute tranquility. Or even Lindsay, like taking a yoga class if you can't fly to Bali right away. This is like even going somewhere local or a meditation class. Or like joining a meditation group. It's kind of like that. It's like quieting the mind. And forming your own game so that you're not playing games with other people that they've created. This is going to be fun. It's really going to be fun. All right, Austin. So, really interesting. Both of you, so Lindsay, you have Utopia. Austin, Sanctuary, healing, comfort, restoration. This is you moving more into you being. But you also are needing some time, downtime. Okay. Hot Springs, Austin, check out, I don't know where. Well, John Kletlinger, Sonia is buying a place up in Wyoming. It's not too far from you. It's called, Sonia, what's the name of the town? It's known for its hot springs. She's having a house built up there. But oh, what's the name of the town? Anyway, I see it's like hot. There's something with you important for you to reconnect with the earth through the water, through hot springs. That I don't know what that's going to do, Austin, but it's really going to help you tremendously. It's really important to do that. Take Lindsay with you. It's like USA. But it's more important for you. Thermopolis. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Thermopolis. It's Thermopolis, Wyoming. And it's not that far from you if you're in Utah. I think it's only, I don't know, Sonia, what, 4 or 5 hours away? But anyway, it's fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, good. Now we've got Ashley, Mindy, Teresa, Mindy, Teresa, Heather, and Regina. Okay. We've got Mindy. Here we go, Mindy. Trust. So Lindsay's a painter or an artist. We have quite a few artists here, actually. Stop being, highly recommend you being impatient with your work. If something doesn't turn out, or if you're doing something with your art that you don't like, the reason that you're doing it is to find out what you don't like. Is that wrong? Is that bad? No. You've just found out what doesn't work for you. That's a lot what this life is about. It's just about trusting the process, Melinda. It's not about judging, oh, this is a crappy piece of art. No. It's really a good piece of art. And what you don't like about it, you can change it. Trust the process. Are you willing to let go of doubting what you do, who you are? So this goes back really to one of the beginning of the cards, right? The ripple effect that Abby had, the effect that you've had on your people, on your kids, on your grandkids, and that you're going to continue to have. It's really important for you. It's going to work out. Trust. Okay. And then we've got Teresa. Hey, Teresa. Happy Sunday night. Grounded, strength, stamina. Empowerment. I'm going to text you on this one. I'll write it down. It's about talking to somebody that we know mutually about this. So absolutely stand your ground. Be free of the need to explain to people why you're riding a unicorn instead of a horse. You know that I think it's an Aesop fable where the tailor, the king was going to parade through the town, and the king wanted the most fabulous outfit ever. And so the tailor's like, oh my God, how am I going to create this fabulous outfit for him? So he comes up, he goes, hey, I created this invisible outfit. Right? And so the king parades through the town with no clothes on. And it was a little child that said, hey, the king's naked. I don't know if you remember that Aesop. I think it's an Aesop fable. Trust your own. This is you coming more and more into your power, Teresa. Trust your own. Trust your own gut. Like, even if the king's tailor comes up with this beautiful set of invisible clothes, go, hey, be the child and go, no. The king's naked. Do you really want to parade the king through the town naked? This is you, the power to step up and speak your truth when sometimes the whole town, the whole city is like, oh no, it's a beautiful set of clothes. This is you actually speaking your truth and moving more up into that empowerment of speaking your truth. It's really powerful. It's really good. Okay, we're good. And then we have Heather. Heather, thanks for being here. Okay, so Heather, this has to do with attachment. This is cutting loose people that have a scarcity mentality. Sometimes people with drug and alcohol or those type of issues, sometimes you have to allow them to absolutely hit rock bottom. And because if you don't, they can really, really drag you down. You have no problem understanding that if you touch a doorknob, you probably need to wash your hands, right? Because of virus, bacteria, that type of thing. It's the same with people's belief systems around money or wanting you to do something for them. This is, are you willing to allow more people to help you rather than you go out and continually try to help them in any way that you've been taught to prove your value or your worth? You were taught that somehow along the way, which is fine and good. It's fine to help other people. I'm not saying it's not, but it's really important to have more of a balance about allowing people to do for you. I'm going to challenge everybody on the show. Are you willing to allow people to do more for you? And then cutting loose the people that will do for you if you do something in exchange in return for them, and only then. Cutting those people loose and free. All right, my dear Regina. Calgon, take me away. This is the awakening card. So you definitely need to soak tonight, or Yeah, definitely soak. But this is the expansion card, the memories, the insights, the ahas. In the next few days, you'll be getting more and more ahas. Things will work out for you. They'll just begin to flow. If you have your camera, take a picture of this card. And it's important for you in this new place that you're moving to be by water. And look at drinking mineral water. Look at drinking sparkling mineral water. Okay, I think we got everybody. Do we have everybody?
Yep, you got Regina.
Got Regina?
You're good.
Thank you all. Great, great blessings to you. We'll do this again tomorrow night. Love you all. Take care.